So my name is Demetrius Witherspoon, and I am a writer, director, comic book creator, and a global marketing consultant. And I didn't do it by myself. It was a collaborative effort from a lot of people, plus all these other things that I've learned over the 10 years that I've been doing production work, commercials, in film for TV. First of all, I just wanted to tell a little bit more about myself, how I got into filmmaking. I was an R&B singer, and I did some of the clubs around here and things like that, but I wanted to do a music video. And I always loved film. I always watched film and things like that. And so I shot I borrowed some money from my brother, shot 3 music videos in a week, and I was hooked. This is what I wanted to do. So a lot of the things that I learned from being a musical artist, I applied to being a filmmaker. And marketing is very key to both, because it's all entertainment. So let's look at what marketing film is about. So I named this Film Marketing and Beyond because it's more than just marketing. It's more than marketing film, it's marketing yourself. You are a brand. Even if you're an actor, you're a brand, a product. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is, because it's show business. Okay, that's what we're in. So filmmaking or film marketing, the strategic process of promoting and creating awareness for a movie to attract the audience and drive ticket sales or viewership. So that's film marketing, because there's so much out there, okay, when you Google film marketing. But we're talking about this tonight. Now, distribution, I wanted to talk about that. The process of making a movie available to the public for viewing through various channels, such as theater, television, streaming platforms, DVD, Blu-ray, film festivals, and VHS. A lot of people say these are dead medias. They are not. I'm going to show you why. This is some of my work. Blu-ray. This is Submerged Universe. It is my IP. It's a sci-fi film series, and it's about a lady that gets thrown into a multi-universe, and she has to find her way out and fight for her daughter. And it spans over 5 films. Then we even have an animated pilot that's won awards over in India and different places. And it's got picked up in Japan for small distribution. And then it led into the novelization of one of my films. I had an author come up and say, I want to write in your universe. I said, well, let's go. Let's make it happen. And so John F. Allen wrote Submerged Echo 51, which is now on Amazon Prime. And I also sell these. They're at Indie Reads and also some comic book stores. And it is a novella. Then I got into the comics, expanding my universe into the comics. So we got Light. She's one of my characters in my film series. And then we have 51X. And so all of these kind of correspond back and forth with my film series. And this is just some of the things that is part of my marketing, branding, my IP, my intellectual property. So I want to show a little bit of my trailer here, and then some of the ways that I've used my marketing.
I want you to go to planet Earth. Bring me the human female submerged specimen, the one that they call Irene, and her offspring. She has wreaked havoc across the Alpha Test world. Bring her to me.
So there are all different kinds of ways to market your film. And you can do it on no budget to having a budget. And some of it comes with collaboration with others. So collaboration with your actors. When you're going to film festivals or you're going somewhere where you can show the film, make sure your actors are there. And express to them how important it is, or actors be there. Because it's not about just showing the film. You're there to network, and you can meet other producers and other people, so it's helping you. And it's also supporting the film, but it's gonna help you, because you never know who's gonna be at that event. So my actors showed up, they showed out, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. I had them come as their character. And what did that do? People were like, what film are you from? What game are you from? Oh, I'm from the Submerged Universe. Here goes the card. Oh, okay, let me look that up. And plus it was fun for them to take pictures with kids and all different kinds of people. So that was part of our marketing. Yeah, I didn't have the money to pay for a table at Gen Con, but you know what I could do? We got 5 badges, so all the cast gets in, and we're gonna dress you up in your costume, and you're gonna walk around with your costume on. Is that not marketing? and it was just the perfect place for that. So, so preparing your marketing foundation. I didn't go to school for this, but it's something that I just kind of did, but I've learned so much, and I continue to learn because the scene of the world is always changing, especially the entertainment field is always changing. So you got to be on it. And we're going to talk about that, AI, all that. So preparing your marketing foundation. Define your audience. When I've heard that, I'm like, how am I supposed to know? This is my first film. How am I supposed to know what my, But mine was sci-fi, so I was like, okay, let me at least go to the IFN when they had their film festival down in Bloomington. And that's when I met other people. And then that were in the IFN. And that's when I started to learn about other film festivals that was good for my genre, okay? So you have to know your target demographic, and that's one way of doing it. The other way is, we'll talk about that a little bit later too. Next is creating a marketing plan, outline goals, timelines, and the strategies for before, during, and after production. When I'm about to do production, even if it's a book that I've written, I'm going to put out something about that title, or I'm going to put a post out saying I'm writing my next book. So why do you do that? People want to be on board as you go along your journey. Next is my script. My script is done, everybody. Oh my God, he's got the script done. We're casting now, people. So they're along the journey, okay? So, and there's different ways. So again, outline your goals, timelines, the strategies, and again, you do it way before. You're building that audience, that anticipation. Think about your favorite movie. When did you hear about it? Maybe 3 years ago, and then we're talking about the pandemic. It's probably been 6 years and they didn't reshot it 8 times, but you heard about it a long time ago. Just a little seed. You may have forgot about it, but when they put something else out about it, you're like, oh yeah, that's right, that's coming. And they're giving you a date. So again, not only before, but then as you're doing it, as you're getting everything together. And then even after production. Yeah, I might be going to a distribution company, but you still have ways of making revenue while it's maybe going to a bigger distribution, or you can do it yourself. And we'll talk about that, but that keeps that fire going. People are like, oh, it's out. Well, where can I get it? Well, hold on, I'm burning the DVDs myself. Or, we're working on something. And you get it out, and people, they want to buy it. Most of the time. Now, I'm kind of being brief on some of these because we can go really deep, okay? So, there's a lot, but I'm going to hit some of the highlights here. So, brand your film. Develop consistent branding, logos, posters, color schemes, taglines. This is so important from the get-go. And how can you do that if you don't have any money or you don't even know how to draw? Well, we're going to talk about that because there's so many ways. There's Fiverr, where you can pay somebody $20 to make you a logo for your company, okay? And then there's artists on artist pages. Hey, I'm looking for somebody that does logos. Or IFN. Somebody's gonna know. So that's important. Your posters are key, okay? And I didn't always have the money to do my posters, but I love art from the get-go. That was my first love. So when I started getting into doing a little posters and I didn't have the money to pay somebody to come take pictures on set. So I took pictures myself, and then I had somebody do the graphic work. But later on, I learned some other things as you're making your poster. You want to draw people's attention. Think of your favorite movie and the first time you've seen that poster. Superman. You didn't even show Superman. It showed a streak, okay? And you will believe he can fly. I'm old enough to remember that. Okay. So, and they're kind of doing it with the new Superman too. But just think of your favorite poster. You're like, oh my God, I gotta see that. So your poster is key. As before that film comes. I don't care if your film is not the best in the world, but your wrapping of your IP, of your product, your film needs to look amazing as much as possible. You're not going to always get it right, but at least try. And color schemes and all that comes into it, and if you get a graphic person, they can help you with that. Look at the tone of your whatever your genre is. If it's horror, go look at all the horror posters, the new ones, and maybe some of the old ones, and say, I want a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And the graphic person can put that together for you. And then your taglines are so important because people want to know, okay, what is it about? You know, aliens, you know, you can't scream in space. I think that's what it is.
It's basically the game of screams.
Yeah, you can't hear scream. So, you know, that's powerful. What is that? I want to know what's going on. So let's start to kind of break that down a little bit. Define your audience. Analyze your film content. Genre. Determine the primary genre. Is it sci-fi, drama, horror? And identify the typical audience for that genre. So everything has a place. So how can you find that out? Well, you can use film festivals. You can go the Film Freeway, put in horror or put in dramas, and it'll give you a whole list of different film festivals. That's where some audiences are watching, right? Okay, you put your film there. Facebook groups, so powerful. Yeah, Instagram is for more pictures, things like that, a little bit of video, but Facebook is still a powerful tool because you have groups for nothing but horror, nothing but drama and Christmas movies, okay? Or sci-fi, black sci-fi groups. So you can use those to start to find your audience. And then look at the analytics to identify who is engaging most with your post. So when I put that title out, what happens after a few maybe people watching it? Well, it gives you analytics, insights on Facebook, Instagram, all of social media, and it's letting you know how good it's doing. And it even break it down, what nationalities looking, you know, female, male, all of that. And we'll talk about some other programs that will break it down even further. But that's free. That's another way to find out about your genre and your audience. Like I said, on film festivals, I found out where my audience was when I went to the IFN at Bloomington when they had little film festivals. Next was Gen Con. I got into Gen Con, and that opened my eyes up to fantasy and sci-fi. When cosplayers were coming up with trading cards of themselves, I was like, man, that's awesome marketing. Can I do that myself? Yeah, I can do that myself too. And then other things. I found my tribe. And then from there, where's the other film festivals that are dealing with sci-fi and all of that? All right. And then themes and messages. consider the core themes of your film and who might relate to your or resonate with them. I know with my short film I just did for Meals on Wheels for their fundraiser, The Long Farewell, it was dealing with food insecurity and dementia. So there were different groups, nonprofit groups, that even with them dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's, they could still use that video. I could show it to them. And it could be showed at different health fair festivals and then on TV. So think about your theme, your message. Sometimes when I'm writing, I don't have a theme. It's just pouring out of me. And then I go back and I look at what I just poured out of me. And it's like, oh, yeah, okay. This is, for me, this is what happens. All right, this is my story. This is them poured out of me. And I start breaking it down. But sometimes a theme that you've injected, that's what you really want. And then there's some things that you subconsciously or unconsciously put a theme in there that you didn't even think of. And you won't know until you show it to other people. And it affects them in a certain way. So try to think about that. And why is that important? Because let's say, well, just like I said, with my film, I could get backing with Meals on Wheels, and they could partner up with me to do film festivals and help promote it. And that can deal with, food and all other kind of subjects, especially nonprofits. If it's something in there about abuse or someone being disabled, it's bringing light. You're using your art to bring light to that cause. Okay, so we can look out for those different opportunities. In your character profiles, the audience often connect with characters who reflect their experiences or their aspirations. This can help define your audience also. I've had different characters in my film that people have inboxed me about. And it's like, well, I was watching your film and she was in the hospital. That just brought back so many feelings that I had when I was having my miscarriage. Or when I was in this situation, your film really spoke to me about this. So sometimes your characters can help define your audience. So how to brand your films. Develop consistent branding. Again, we talked about logos, posters, color schemes, taglines. Look at your film genres that are like yours. There's countless ones of them in Hollywood, and even if you go to Tubi or Amazon Prime, if you already got a film up there, see who did they put a lot with you, with your film, and check them out. Support those other filmmakers, but see what else is like your film. That's how you can learn how to market what you have, and it don't have to be the same. You don't want the same because your film is your personal baby and your IP, but you kind of get an idea of how you want to market it and see how you can do that on an independent level. Again, I'm talking about independent. I'm not talking about paying distribution to market your film, which that's a lot of money. And still, if they're not a good distribution, you have to tell people it's at Walmart. You have to tell people to go to these streaming sites. So again, independent level, how can you do that? So with branding, ChatGPT, you can use Canva. If you haven't used Canva, oh my God, it's a beast. I love Photoshop. Now there's still some things you just can't do. But when you need to get going and you put that template in there, throw your video in there, and then, you might use Photoshop, or you might use something else that will, AI that will cut it up real quick for you. It will save you time. So AI apps, paid services, and Fiverr. There's other ones, but these are some of the main ones. Marketing is key. From the start of your script to even after.
Is that all your stuff?
That's all my stuff. So, I didn't have everything. I can't have everything here. But you have to show up. If you've been to cons, there are a million things eye candy for everybody to get into, right? I want this, I want that. And then they're looking at your characters like, that's not me. I don't know that character. And they walk on. But you got to have marketing to kind of bring them in. So people come to my booth, man, looks awesome. What's this about? You have to show up and show out, because you're going to be the best person to talk about your IP. And that's same with actors. You're going to be the best person unless you pay somebody to represent you. But until you do that, you're going to be the best person to do that. And so you have to promote yourself on Facebook, social media, all the different platforms. And I like what you said, trying to get something where it's not a monologue, but, you do something, a film yourself, a short. And it's easy because we have 4K cameras in our phones. And that is no joke, it's still a powerful piece. So we're kind of getting into some other things, because what I kind of talked about earlier is traditional kind of like marketing. And one of the things I didn't have on my list is websites, like Crystal talked about. Websites are key. Why is that? Facebook glitches, or X goes down, and everybody's moving over to the next thing.
Blue sky.
Yeah, blue sky. But what never changes until you change something on your website. I have my social media and my website on my card. And I don't carry physical cards anymore. It's all digital. Because what do people have? They have their phone. And especially, you don't want everybody handling your phone. So I do QR codes. And so I use hi, hello. If you can find that app, it's free. Put your picture up there, put all your social media in there. Websites, everything. People say, can I get your information? Yeah, create that. It creates a QR code right there, and they can scan it, and they can have it.
What's it called?
Hi, hello.
Hi, hello.
Yeah. HI is the app icon, but it's hello. So you can look that up in the store. And I can show you a little bit later from my phone. There's also LinkedIn Tree. I think that's how it's called.
Linktree?
Yeah, Linktree. And that does it too, but I like the hi, hello better, because it just looks better, and you can get more stuff on there. Okay, so you can so that can be part of your marketing, even if you're an actor. Oh, well, let me get your card. Well, here goes my QR code, and it takes you to my IMDb page also. Okay, so all of that can be put in there, and it's free. You don't have to pay anything until you really want to do something special with it, and they'll let you know what you have to pay for. But other than that, I've used it for probably about 5 years now, free. And it works. Because why? Because for one thing, some people, they lose cards. Oh, let me get your card. Okay. But if it's right there in front of them, first they're going to already go to your social media. The other thing is when they click on there and they really want to be part of you, that's going to come to your email. And what else do you have? A contact. You have an email. And with that email, you can make a list. And with that list, mailing list, email list, you can market to those people. Okay? And you didn't even have to bribe them. They did it themselves. I want to be part of this. So just check that out. So marketing is key. And for me, even shirts, I got the comics. When I'm doing cons, I'll walk around and see what people are doing. It might be, they're selling Pokemon cards, but how are they doing it? They're doing it, some kind of different way. Well, can I do that? Will it work with drama? Will it work with horror? Yes, it will. One lady, she makes coffee. I don't know if you've ever been to a con and seen that. She makes coffee, and on her coffee bag, she has a story. And each coffee bag, I say she probably got, I don't know, probably about 50 to 60 different flavors, but then they're different stories. People buy that. So think of different ways that you can market your film. I also did popcorn, collaboration with local small businesses. He was making popcorn, and he's like, you know what? We can do a tin of that popcorn. You see it there in the corner there. He said, we can make a tin, and we can put the popcorn in there. And later on, he figured out how to keep it fresh, bag it, and put it in there. It was a little bit of an investment, but it spoke volumes to other people. Sometimes it's not about making the money back. Sometimes you're not, but it's putting it out there. And you never know if they then went and looked at your work or what have you. But we have people buying the cans, coming up to the actors and having them sign it. So now they have something to keep. We're almost done here, and then we can do questions. So how can I do that on low to no budget? That's what I always ask myself, because I don't always have the funds. After you do a film, you done fed everybody. Unless you then got a lot of money to do your film and you put in there for marketing the money that you'll need, and then you got to figure out how much money you need for marketing. So that's a whole nother thing. So how can I do it on low budget? Well, for one thing, I am an artist, but after a while, I didn't always have the money to pay a graphic person to do it. So I like Photoshop, and I love YouTube College, and I know things that I see that I can probably get close to making or replicating. So my first 3 posters were made by a graphic person. The rest were made by me. And that makes me feel proud, because then other people are walking around with that poster, or they have that poster on their chest. And you see people walking into stores or comic book store. The guy bought a shirt. Well, he's promoting my film while I'm not even there. He's promoting my comic book when I'm not even there. So that's how marketing can help, used in different ways. And we're going to talk about what that is. All right. So AI is a tool. Now there's a lot of different things about that right now, but it cannot replace everything an artist can do, not yet, but it's getting close. If you go to LinkedIn and you go to YouTube, you're going to see some things really close. But it can't replace everything, but it is a tool that can help. So wait a minute. I had a film where I had extra scenes in it that right now it'd just be impossible to re-edit and put it back into everything. So what did I do? I run it through AI, animated it. It looked awesome. Added sound effects. Is that a possibility of a short film? And it's still in the universe of what you have. So AI is powerful. And don't forget to collaborate with others, artists, composers, small business around the world. Don't think just Indianapolis. The internet is powerful. I work with people in Japan, Dubai, the Netherlands, the Philippines, Venezuela, and some other countries. Poland. That's where I found my statue guy, and he's cheaper than America. America paid me $100 to paint a statue of one of my characters. I was paying 100 and something, just over a little bit of 100, and that was painting and doing the 3D printing and shipping. So think outside the box. The internet, don't think just here in Indianapolis, which is fine. You can use small businesses here, but think around the world. Etsy, Facebook. You see somebody doing something cool, man, how can I flip that and be part of my marketing going forward? How can I break my film down and have maybe local bands be on it? Because that's a collaboration. They're getting their music in and they're in a movie. They're getting IMDb, getting Spotify. So it's a collaboration. I have vinyls of my soundtracks, and we're on Spotify. So that's another way of getting revenue. Yeah. Sorry, I get a little excited. All right, so finding AI tools. ClickUp is an AI tool list, thousands, and it's changing every day. It's changing, not every day, like every hour, because, there's people asleep on one side of the world and awake on the other, and people are working hard. There are studios getting put together right now that are nothing but AI. So see how it can work in your flow of what you're doing. You don't have to be the whole thing, but see how it can work with you. Photoshop. Photoshop has AI. I'm going to show you how you can use that. Midjourney, Opus Clips for video editing. You've seen clips where somebody's talking and the words are coming across there and it lights up a little bit. Free. I go in my office, do my video, put it in there, it edits it. And then let's say you put a full-length video in there, okay? Maybe you're doing your podcast. You've seen that on Instagram and all this. You put it in there, the video of what you're doing, it'll chop it up, and then it'll give you a grading. Oh, this is A+ for going viral. This is B. And it'll break down what the subject is that you're talking about. Free. So, and then we got Hyper AI for video editing, and then AI Film News YouTube channel, Curious Refuge. These guys are on it. Every hour. They are also kind of in bed with Hollywood too, on the front end of how that's happening. If you've been watching the news or your feeds, Hollywood is starting to get into AI. So look at some of these YouTube channels. These are some of the reputable ones that are on the leading edge of that. And then Chat GPT. So these are tools that you can use to help you with your marketing. I just wanted to show this real quick. I use Photoshop on this, Photoshop AI. So I have a streaming service for my whole series. But even if you were going to do distribution, Amazon Prime, you have to have different aspect ratios, right? For your profile picture, and they're going to put it in different places. So I took the 16:4, put it into Photoshop AI, put the box around it, said expand this. And that's what it did. I put it on both sides of it. Even though it took out the ships, it's still all together. It looks like one piece. And then for the 16:9, it added some ships, but it expanded it out. So again, AI can be a tool. Even with the movie poster, I had to use, instead of reshaping everything, I kind of used AI to do some of the highlights on that. But these are 3 movie posters that I already had. So it helped me kind of tweak some things and be able to have my movie poster. And people love this movie poster, and I've been able to use Photoshop to bring it down to do DVDs and even my Blu-ray covers. All right, quick thing. There's marketing, and then there's transmedia, and that's what I do. There's 5 films, as you see in the middle, just like Star Wars, 5 films, but my comics, they expand my story world. The fan film that was made by somebody that liked what I did, and one day I woke up with my characters being animated on Facebook. We put in film festivals and won awards. So that's another way that expanded the world. Podcasts, that's another way to expand your universe or whatever you're making. Dramas, horror, there's millions of them. Again, my streaming service, I have my own streaming service, toys, and then tabletop games. I do have a card game based off of one of my films that was made. And that expands the story world because it's not just about the same old characters. That's expanding the story world. And then even the book, the novelization. John F. Allen, he did an awesome job writing in my universe with my script. And usually that comes the other way around, right? You have a book, and then you write a script off of it, and you make a film. But it's the other way around. So transmedia can be key for a lot of films. And you think about Rocky. Okay, first it was just Rocky. But in his transmedia world, it ventured off, and now, you have the Apollo movies. But it's still in that story world. Even when you took Rocky out, yeah, he was missing, but it was still in that story world. So transmedia can help you with gaining more revenue. Even if it's a documentary. Did you get behind the scenes footage? Did you get behind the scenes pictures? You can make a book out of that and put a QR code in it. Then it takes them to extra scenes that you put on the, couldn't put into the film. And then some of the proceeds from that could help a foundation somewhere. So every part of your film can be used to get more revenue, bring more attention to your film, even though it's getting distribution. But you have to think outside the box. And a lot of times when you think out of the box, that's when things happen, because nobody's in that lane. So just keep on pushing. It's not easy. This is 10 years, over 10 years worth of stuff. Some people's like, do you sleep? Sometimes I don't. And when I can't sleep, I don't get on my phone scrolling. I get on my phone to market, to look for the next thing. That's how I found the person in Poland. I was like, man, I can't sleep. It's like, okay, you know what? I wanted to learn about somebody making statues, you know, and it's $1 million over here in the States. So I went to Etsy. Here I'm talking to a guy over in Poland, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like, do you make these? You know, are you okay with me doing a contract with you? So it's not, so he can't make it over there, you know, without my consent? Yeah, I'm all right with that. And then we've got a working relationship. So collaboration, and we got the comics that I have coming up, also a short film. Also in January, I have a short story book, Tales of Rebirth and Ruins, that's going to be coming out. That is made up of at least 6 of my characters' backstories. Do you have backstories for your characters? Those can be other stories because people don't know them. So I put them into a short book, and that's going to be out in January. So use what you got, and there's all different ways of doing it, and you got to keep on pushing. And I want to thank you for getting to me.
Thank you very much, Demetrius. That's excellent. Really challenging for me, tell you what.